Square Enix is toiling away in their gold mine, working on their next big JRPG. It's a big project, maybe the most anticipated game in their storied history. It'll be a milestone for their fans and likely for the future of the company. Kingdom Hearts 3. Square Enix just announced that the game will be ready sometime in the next 3 years. Now, if I just put 3 years into my custom-made Square release schedule translator, count for production values and delays, it spits out a release date of... Never. While we wait for Never to get here, we'll look at a rather understated and often forgotten aspect of the original Kingdom Hearts' combat, the tech point system. Kingdom Hearts is known for its reliable production schedule, sensible naming conventions, and flawless writing.
That was undeniable proof that we totally owned you, lamers.
Listen to those cheers, man. You don't get to decide if you're a hero or not. They do. And they've already made up their mind.
Shion, who else will I have ice cream with?
This is my favorite series. And after all of these years, the first game is still hands down my personal favorite, and its combat system holds up extremely well. While the later games got more flashy and combo heavy, I prefer the slower, weighty, and more challenging combat of the first game. While Kingdom Hearts 1 was not perfect, and it could be kinda clunky at times, I felt that it had the least amount of fluff in its combat design, as most of your combat options and abilities had a clear purpose with dodge rolls, magic, guarding, special attacks, and other various skills. Kingdom Hearts 2 had a bit of a dominant strategy problem, where unless you were playing on the critical difficulty, your best option in combat more often than not turned out to be just wailing on enemies with your basic attacks. Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 2 are button mashers. The first game certainly has its fair share of mindlessly hacking through enemies, but there was still a bit of depth. Compared to its sequel, Kingdom Hearts 1 has a bit more emphasis on timing and defensive maneuvers, and the individual moment-to-moment gameplay felt more engaging, partially thanks to a feature I wish more single-player games would adopt: its bonus experience point system, Tech Points. Tech Points were a mechanic exclusive to Kingdom Hearts 1 that granted bonus experience points for taking special actions in combat, like hitting weaknesses, using ice on fire enemies or vice versa, parrying attacks by striking at just the right moment, guarding attacks, or deflecting projectiles back at enemies all give the player tech points. What makes this mechanic awesome is that it rewards players for exploiting your opponent. You don't only level up from taking enemies out, you gain EXP faster from fighting properly and basically getting good. This mechanic makes sure that the little nuances in the combat system don't get lost in the shuffle and helps make the different enemy types feel more unique. The game teaches you about the system very early on. Parrying and tech points are taught in the optional fights against the kids on Destiny Islands. When you parry against Selphie's whip, not only does it block her attack, it bounces off and hits her right on the forehead, giving you an additional 2 XP, double what you normally get by just winning the fight. Another example, when you hit Wakka with his own projectiles, it stuns him, causing him to lob his next couple shots. The fights with all of the kids become much easier and more rewarding once the player gets the hang of parrying. It's not only a great way to level up quickly at the start, but also a good survival tactic. Most of the game's enemies and bosses have some attack that can either be parried, guarded, or exploited for tech points. The game also plays around with this system with special enemies like the white mushrooms that play a kind of magic Simon Says game for tech points and other various items. The idea of a full progression system directly tied to player skill is great, and subtly different than what most other RPGs have. A lot of other games have bonus XP systems, but the systems often work in really arbitrary ways. Some implement it as a random bonus, like in Persona 3's roulette system. Sometimes it's a passive bonus like the Moon Confidant in Persona 5, or an item like the EXP share in Pokemon. Final Fantasy X hands out bonus experience for getting overkills, but a player can get around the system by using a ton of MP, or just by fighting wimpy enemies. So it doesn't really incentivize you to get a deeper understanding of your opponents. A ton of RPGs implement a vague end of battle report that grades and rewards you based on your general performance, but it does very little to actually guide you into playing better. I just destroyed these guys. What do you mean I got 3 stars? Why do I keep getting negative grade? What does finesse mean? There are some games that take a similar approach to Kingdom Hearts in using XP as an incentive for mastery and taking risks. Bravely Default rewards extra experience based on how fast you win the fight. The World Ends With You has an interesting risk versus reward system that gives you more points for voluntarily taking on more fights in a row. Ys Origins gives more XP for keeping a high combo count. Batman Arkham Asylum, even though it's not an RPG, rewards both high combo counts as well as varying your combat strategy. The key aspect in these games, and in Kingdom Hearts, is that bonus XP is an active reward that directly encourages you to get better at the combat, rather than granting you experience for brute force, random luck, or just reaching some arbitrary point in the game. Though sometimes those all happen in Kingdom Hearts as well. Positive reinforcement and feedback play an important role in teaching game mechanics to players. Kingdom Hearts is a game where the mastery of its mechanics lead immediately to in-game rewards, so becoming a better player in Kingdom Hearts turns into a faster progression. This idea of tying skill to progression in a single-player experience is seen in more modern games too. The difficulty of Dark Souls is an offshoot of this idea. It turned the process of mastering combat from a recommendation to a requirement to progress at all. It's very unlikely for a player in Dark Souls to just hack their way through the game, and it's a better game for it. Kingdom Hearts' bonus XP system turned what could have been just another action RPG button masher into a game with a surprising amount of depth, and makes Kingdom Hearts a game that was just a bit ahead of its time.